Happy April Fool's Day. We're gonna do an April Fool's garden tour. The jasmine's growing nicely on the fence. The Meyer lemon produced probably about 20 fruit this year, sorely needing a feeding. I'll get to that. One of my favorite plants. It's growing in really nicely. The purple smoke bush. I think it's royal purple. All right, we've got a kumquat tree that my sister gave me one Christmas. It's doing really well. And this is a very drought tolerant tree that I can't recall the name of right now, but I'll probably put in the comments. Here's our kiwi, coming back really well. We had our first harvest last fall. We had about 66 kiwis, small size, but ended up being delicious once they finally ripened. We're getting some nice asparagus coming in. Got those in pots right now because we just don't have the space in ground, and I'd like to be able to take them to the Forestville location. This is a Peter's honey fig that's growing in for its third season in pot. Little blueberry tucked away there. This is thornless Mexican lime, and it's got thousands of little BBs on it. Well, hundreds, I'll say. Thousands is an exaggeration, but it just feels super loaded this year. Last year, it had probably 1/4 that amount, and it just burst with flower buds this spring. This is the lamb Hass that I put in ground in 23. And it was already in pot for 4 years, so trying to decide what age this should be categorized as. It's got some significant flower for the first time. We only had a few flowers last season, and then I'm still waiting for one fruit that came out of that I've got in a plastic kiwi container that I saved. But you can see we've got some nice fruit set here this season. Let's see, it's hard to figure out where the lens is capturing when I'm holding it. And over there's some good fruit set, or flower bud. And over here we've got one of my favorite hedge trees or bushes, and this is a oh gosh, this concussion, I tell you, it's making it really hard to think of which variety I've got. The Portuguese. This is the Portuguese laurel. And I really, really love how these flower spikes come in. They just like polka dotted spikes. It's super cool. And then they're gonna burst open like so. Really love them. Peonies are coming in with some beautiful flush of growth. A little later stage. And they're all sort of the white with pink undertones that I love. The jasmine is just kind of on its way out. It was just throwing out huge wafts of perfume in the air. We've got them kind of riddled around the garden. I love the protea and how that's growing in with the new red growth there. Super cool species from Australia and New Zealand. Very drought tolerant. This is the multi-grafted Fuji apple tree that's got Orleans de Renette, Ashmead's Kernel, Honeycrisp, Newton Pippin, Renette de France. Might have another one that I can't remember, but I'm really excited about those coming in. This guy is the my favorite nectarine, and I love its compact growth habit as a dwarf. It's the Nectazy miniature. All right, Pittosporum has grown in really beautifully right there. I just love it. Love it. Starting to sprinkle. All right, let's scoot back a little bit and take a look at how sweetly the Cecil Bruner climbing roses come in right there with the rosettes. I love it. And we've got the Bear's Lime. I've trained it to grow inside the pergola as well, kind of like they do in Amalfi. Hopefully we'll see some. Ooh, we gotta get this guy maybe pruned, or I'm not sure. It's kind of growing into the walkway, which I'm not wanting. This is the Washington Navel Orange. I need to feed all my citrus. All my citrus are due for a feeding, so we'll get to that. These are my very happy artichokes. I think I'm gonna pick these for tonight's supper. Really excited about these guys. And I know they're probably taking the nutrients away from the citrus, so I've got to really feed those citrus. Some great comfrey that I've got in here. Some elderberry that I tried to graft onto because it's the upright that I don't really care about the formation of growth. And so I tried to graft the elderberry black lace on there. Didn't take, so the rootstock is coming back. And here's my little cluster of roses that are just, I'm in love with how they're coming in right now. This is the Lady Gardener. Love these buds. They're just like coming through profusely, beautifully, with nice, healthy rosettes. And the leaf structure looks very healthy and strong. This is Pomegranate Wonderful coming in. I've been pruning that to be a little bit more of like an umbrella canopy with just one central leader there. But I'm letting this other second leader come up because it might be a good complementary structure. This is my La Reine French Rose. Holy cow. It's just popping, and The scent is gorgeous, similar to the front rose I have called Ardoisie de Léon. That's like my current favorite. It's just intoxicating me nightly with freshly picked roses that I'm just cherishing while I read at night. This is pineapple guava. Also making sure to limb up the branches underneath to keep it clean and have more of a top heavy canopy. This is what I'm holding under the sauna roof because we took out the shed and removed it, and we're gonna probably put a little dining area here, fill this area with more gravel and weed barrier cloth under that, and put a dining table there for entertaining. In the back there, that is the Lady Banks rose, climbing rose, and it was really flowering beautifully with lots of yellow rose flowers. It's dying off now, so it's hard to really see any of its color. Although there's one little guy that's still showing some color. Let's see, a couple of them. So pretty. I love that it's thornless, or they say nearly thornless, but this one has been pretty darn thornless. So, very happy with that. All right, we've got early foothill pomegranate here that was planted as an espaliered tree, and now that the shed is gone, it's not growing against the shed, and so it doesn't have that support anymore, but we added this really big trellis onto the shed when we installed this plant, and it seems to be holding it up fairly well right now, although it's kind of leaning with all the water that the rain has added to its tree canopy and petals. So it's a little concerning right now, but starting to grow on the other side, hoping that some of these branches, maybe I can get them to go on the other side so that it can balance out. Here's the extra gem avocado tree I have. I'm trying to find a good home for it so that it can be cherished. I have too many avocados myself, no place for them. This is my loquat tree. It was probably about yay high when I planted it, and it's almost tripled in size. These are some seriously overgrown. Chard, Swiss chard, delicious. They're sort of keeping the D'Arturo Avocado Tree Company while it grows into some maturity. It's been slowly growing, very slowly growing. And can't remember when I put it in ground, but let's see. Early 2024. Oh no, there we go. Planted October 15th of 24. So we're looking at a year and a half. And hopefully all this time it's been developing a good root structure. And now you can see it's gotten a lot of new growth. And it started to explode, and I hope it continues. And we've got blueberry, misty variety, coming up with some really nice blueberries. Abraham Darby rose, really beautiful fruity citrus scent. And I cut off my my tree collard because it was like getting to be like really huge up here, and it was just dominating the space, so I cut it back. Starting to come back with some new growth there, but in trying to save the plant, I made some little babies. I took some cuttings off of the original plant and just stuck them in the ground, kept watering them, and super easy to propagate because they just flourished, and they were like probably 4 to 6 inches when I put them in. Now they're probably 2.5 feet tall. The madrone tree is showing off its beautiful trunk coloration and pattern. I love that. It's so cool. I'm also keeping this limbed up to show off its legs. Gorgeous, gorgeous gal. Beautiful lamb's ears, one of Roy's favorite. More comfrey, some pineapple sage, and this is my favorite, one of my favorite roses, Frederick Mistral. Just tried and true, extremely old tea rose scent, very heady, very strong scent, just complete classic, old, reliable Frederick Mistral. I've propagated him a few times for some friends and family. This is a Parfianca pomegranate, and I bought this guy and have made some cuttings and some newly propagated separate seedling trees and given them away, and then also planted them at the new property in the West Sonoma County. Down there is the reed avocado. Come on, you can focus. Oh well. Too frustrating. Okay. At any rate, there's the reed. Back there you can see it's still needing the caliper of the trunk is still needing to get thick. So I might top that one off so that it can focus on some base growth. Here's my first gem avocado planted, and the first and only fruit to harvest. Protecting it with my netted bag from the squirrels and other UFOs, unidentified flying objects. It did have a bunch of flower set, and I've taken off maybe 80% of them, 70%. I want it to focus on growing rather than fruiting, and so I might get a couple fruit, a few maybe next season, but I really want it to focus on growing. But it does have a nice caliper trunk. I'm really pleased. That trunk is growing really well. So that's my gem. This is lamb number 2, Lamb Hass. And it's actually a Monrovia. Yeah, it's a Monrovia tree. I put it in ground. I bought it at a nursery, I can't remember where, and it had a little root rot, and so I completely washed all of the roots, gave it a super good cleaning when I took it out of its pot, and it was in I think it was in a 15-gallon. No, I think it was a 5-gallon. I don't think I could handle myself a 15. At any rate, I sprayed those roots really hard to get all that soil out and to clean those roots. And then I put that into here with just a ton of sand and then native soil, and then added a ton of gypsum on top of that, just a ton of gypsum. And then mulched the top, and at first I watered very judiciously to make sure I didn't overwater and let this guy kind of recover, and he seems to have come back well. So hopefully he will have kind of come out of his root rot phase very well, and is going to be enjoying some good harvest seasons here in Napa. He's got some flower set. Flowers are already opening up for the morning. I've been pruning it back so that it'll focus on caliper trunk growth. Although some people on the Facebook avocado growers groups have suggested that I prune this down a little bit more to even it out, but I don't know. I'm waiting. This is the bacon that I topped last month, and since then it's just exploded in some lower growth. And the Palo d'Oro is really bursting with new growth too. So I'm really happy about that. I took most of the flower buds off of it. Let's see, where are we at? There we go. That one remained, and then a couple other back there. I think I'm probably gonna take this off too. The one on top there is a bacon, it's separate. And that's a bacon as well, flower set. So that is the Palo d'Oro coming through from graft done on December 4th, 24. Still, the bacon is still setting flowers. The bees are not out right now because it's raining. And this is the lamb graft that I did April of 24. So that's coming through with some nice new growth. Really like how that's coming through. And we've got some second reds in there too, about 4 grafts. This is another Parfianca. This is my Mexicola. And I topped this Mexicola off right before I topped off the bacon a couple of weeks before that. This is where I topped the Mexicola off and sealed the wound with pruning seal. Tons of fruit or flower buds, and I'm looking for the BBs. They are not really showing yet, except, yeah, there's a little guy coming through. All right, so they're just starting to show. That's great. Yeah, they're just starting to show. That's really great. There's one in there, about to come out. Yeah, there are gonna be tons pretty soon. Let's see if I can find any more. Yeah, here's another one. Nice, okay. It is actually one of my favorite avocados. I just love the anise flavor. I love eating it like an apple because the skin is edible. I just really love this avocado variety. Okay, let's get the zooming right, Jen. All right, this is a seedling that I've been growing that's just been super vigorous and happy. and it came with 2 central leaders. So I'm thinking of, I've grafted the Jan Boyce onto it here. And now I'm thinking of maybe doing, I don't know, maybe another Jan Boyce or just cutting it off. I'm not sure, but I probably should cut the top off so that it avoids the growth going directly to that and not to the bud. The graft, I mean. Let's just do that right now. All right, and that Jan Boyce was grafted on the 27th of March. Okay, oh boy. This guy is one of my favorite vines. This is the Clematis armandi. Comes out with beautiful, sort of orchid-like white flowers. Nice smell. I really like the odor too, or the aroma. But it's just kind of exploded. I have to trim that back because it's starting to take over the gutter, which is not a good thing. All right. The sole remaining kumquat from our 2 wedding kumquat trees that we had in these 2 blue pots. This is the only surviving one. The other one didn't make it. Had a great harvest of kumquats this last couple months on this guy. Really yummy. Another jasmine, and this is a Cecil Brunner climbing on the pergola with the bear's lime. I'm gonna have some yummy lime growing through there, coming under there. I'm so looking forward to seeing that because it does kind of get yellow in time. Let's pan out and see what that looks like. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it for today. It's April Fool's Day. Happy April Fools.